Thank you very much.
Please
Enjoy your
welcome
evening.
our Lower Great Lakes Chapter President, Tom Farmer, and your Board of Governors.
Time for a few words from our sponsor, which would be us. We're your sponsors for tonight. A couple of years ago when we were at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I was absolutely thrilled that the Borg Warner Trophy was on stage with us. Tonight, Slick Leonard's in the house. How cool is that? Very proud to have you here, Coach. So, if you ever thought you wouldn't see your work on the big screen, there you go. Tonight, you probably don't know this, but first I have to take my glasses off so I can see. You probably don't know this, but every year we are required to have an annual meeting of the Lower Great Lakes membership. So, welcome to the 46th Annual Lower Great Lakes Annual Membership Meeting. The rules of this annual membership meeting require that I give you a State of the Chapter address. So for the next 2 hours, sit back, relax. I wouldn't dare do that. Actually, the State of the Chapter is very strong due to the dedication of the Board of Governors. For the second year in a row, the chapter has achieved over 600 members. We continue to see terrific numbers in Emmy entries, which got a little bit of a kick with the early bird process this year. Glad you all took part of that. We've also seen increased entries in our college production awards and our relaunched high school student production awards. Applicants for our scholarships this year were very, very high. Of course, none of this is possible, if I may borrow a line from our friends at PBS, without members like you. If you'll look on the inside cover of tonight's program, you'll see a long list of names of those who took the Emmy very seriously. Judging is not only an obligation, but it is a great way to see what's going on in other markets and help stimulate ideas for your own Emmy Award-winning productions. So we hope you all judge as we continue our broadcast year. The flash mob you see up here on the stage is our Board of Governors for the Lower Great Lakes chapter. They hate this. They all told me this backstage, but even though their names are in the program, I think it's important that you put faces to the names because your feedback on tonight and the chapter in general is very, very important. Not all of them are here tonight because they do have day jobs, but in any event, from Cleveland, our Vice President John Staley, our Secretary Carl Monday, Trustee Joe Koskowitz, Alternate Trustee Mark Lynch. Raise your hand, Mark, so at least we know somebody's here. Don Vavris, Matt Fuller is here tonight, and the longest-serving member of our board, our parliamentarian Bud Ford. From the Akron-Canton area, new Governor Kelly Woodward. From Youngstown, Danielle Cotterman. From the Fort Wayne area, new Governor Annie Ilnicki and Treasurer Darren Homan. From Toledo, new Governor Tony Geftis and Dave Kuznicki. And from right here in Indianapolis, Vice President Amy Howell, Megan Alisea, new Governor Lonnie Blanford, and new Governor Michael Brodeur. Nice round of applause for all. And probably the most popular guy on our board, especially this time of the year, because you either love him or hate him, is our Emmy Awards Administrator and Trustee Bob Hammer. Where you at, Bob? The only one with a selfie stick. They call that a narcissist stick, you know that. That's the nickname for it, okay. Also on stage tonight is our chapter administrator, who a lot of you have talked to, and that is our chapter administrator, Gary Mankey. And finally on stage tonight are departing board members who had a lot to do with tonight, and we would not be here tonight without most of them. Scott Swan, John Duong, Darren Lachelle, Scott Bremner, Mike Harris, Jeff Phelps, Diana Call, and Susan Batt. A nice round of applause for all of them. Board members can certainly guide the chapter to new heights, but when a board member designs a course that leaves a lasting impression on the chapter, you know you've struck gold. Such is the case with our Board of Governors Award recipient, Dr. Phil Hoffman. Whether he was in television administration, your daughter say hi. Whether he was in television administration, production, or education, Dr. Phil, as we lovingly refer to him, is a fun-loving guy. You can tell by looking at the picture in the program right underneath the Board of Governors Award. When he joined our board, he set his eyes on revising the chapter's student production awards and scholarship efforts. His determination and enthusiasm garnered a record number of student production award entries and reinvigorated the chapter's focus on scholarship. It was a bittersweet moment last year when he announced that he was leaving the chapter to take over as general manager of KMOS PBS in Missouri. But his legacy remains as we achieved some of the highest student production award entries and scholarship applicants this past year. On behalf of the Lower Great Lakes Chapter Board of Governors and its members, I am pleased to award the 2015 Board of Governors Award to Dr. Phil Hoffman. And turn the page. Continuing with the PBS theme, we now turn to two television stations who are celebrating their 50th anniversaries. Founded in 1964, WBGU-TV in Bowling Green, Ohio, is PBS's home for Northwest Ohio. Their local productions have garnered multiple Emmy Awards and nominations for everything from children's programs to arts and sciences and entertainment to historical productions. Affiliated with Bowling Green State University, WBGU-TV has provided co-curricular and extracurricular opportunities for students studying to become part of our industry. WVIZ PBS Idea Stream became the nation's 100th non-commercial educational television station on February 7, 1965. Launched in the backstage area of a Cleveland high school, they later transformed a former tractor factory into an amazing television station. They are now housed in the beautiful Idea Center in Cleveland's Playhouse Square. They too are a multiple Emmy Award winning recipient for outstanding local production, and they are no stranger to national recognition, having just received a few weeks ago the National Association of Broadcasters Education Foundation Award for service to American children. If I can indulge you for just a moment of personal reflection on these two television stations. When I broke into this business a few years ago, I was a high school intern at WVIZ. After watching the professionals at WVIZ, I was convinced that this was what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. When it was time to head to college, the folks at VIZ suggested Bowling Green State University because they had a real TV station that allows students to get hands-on experience. My 4 years working at WBGU gave me the critical thinking and creativity to return to WVIZ after getting my degree and work my way into producing and directing. To think that I would be standing here as president in front of such a distinguished group as all of you to present an award to the two TV stations who had so much to do with my career is incredibly humbling. And to that end, I am proud and humbled to present on behalf of the Board of Governors of the Lower Great Lakes Chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences to Jerry Wareham of WVIZ and to Anthony Short and Tina Simon of WBGU, the President's Award for 50 years of outstanding broadcasting. All right, back to what you're really here for. Back to the Emmys. Thank you all.